What's up, YouTube? It's me, the Artisan MC, here to give you my reaction to seeing the Blue Beetle movie. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. So, I just left seeing the movie. Obviously, I was able to get some food, get some drink, and go watch this flick. And although I did not think it was going to be super terrible, it was not as bad as I thought. It wasn't. It actually had a little bit of good heart in it that I liked. And watching it, I'm sitting there picking out the things that I think other reviewers would critique on that shit. And one of the things is that it is a Latino family. It's a Latino family. Now, with a lot of English and Spanish thrown in there and Latino or Mexican references in there that if you have no exposure to that culture, you probably wouldn't even get. And I think that's what some reviewers would criticize the movie for because they don't necessarily get it and they think it's silly. But it's a cultural thing. So to me, it was funny in the moments it was supposed to be funny and a reference that I may have known or known a little bit about but didn't get completely because I'm not Latino. Yeah, my name may be close to Latino, but I'm not. And having friends of that culture gives me a little bit of intro to knowing a little bit about it, but it doesn't make me an expert on all of it because I'm not in it. So watching this movie, that's what I got. It was, to me, from my experiences, a pretty authentic family. The weird uncle, sister that like to talk shit, the grandma you don't know what she been into, the mother and the father who work his ass off for the family. Now, saying all that, I judge this movie on it being the first time cinematically you've seen this character, right? First time cinematically you've seen this character. What is their first movie supposed to be about? Well, traditionally, the first movie for a superhero franchise does not do dick. It doesn't do good at all. Why? Because you have to spend so much of the movie introducing the character, introducing his world to a new audience that doesn't know really anything about this character. And you got to try to get them hooked from the first one, right? I think this movie did a very good job of letting you know who this character is, what's important to him, what his motivation is for doing what he's doing, what his powers and abilities are as a superhero, and his angst, who the villains are, why they're doing what they're doing. I think it did a pretty good job of that. But the main thing I keep coming back to when I think about it is that family element. And I really was thinking about it starkly when it got to the third act and Jaime is fighting the villain and going in because it's about his family. And I'm like, I recall this is the same shit they were complaining about with Black Adam. Well, Black Adam also had a stronger family message. But I'm supposed to think that Flash was great. This was better than the Flash to me. It was. Maybe it's because I'm not a Blue Beetle devotee that I haven't read Blue Beetle in and out. especially not Jaime. But no, I don't think that's it because I got a good indication of who the character is, what his power set is, what he can do, what he can't do, and what's important to him, and how the family grounds him. That is his core. Now, no, he ain't in there like Vin Diesel yelling family the whole time, but the father in that shit is reminding him, no, we stick together, we'll get through it. That should have been the message they push more than, oh, he's surrounded by a bunch of strong women. Well, ain't but fucking women left. I mean, outside of the main character, the main villain, George Lopez, and the father, there wasn't any other dudes in the shit. Everybody else were females. So yeah, you could say he was surrounded by a bunch of women. Yeah, no shit. Because all the other dudes that were in here were getting killed or blown up or knocked around and shit like that. So that's pretty easy to say. But it wasn't anything in it that overly struck me as a feminist, even though the Jenny Cord character, I think her name is Bruta. She's cute. She's tall as shit though, but she got some nice hips on her. Some nice hips. But how they kept positioning her to be more so the one who got it all together. She had answers, but she didn't have all the fucking answers, right? Which is fine. She did have some uncomfortable looking fucking shoes, some impractical wear. Thankfully, they gave her tennis shoes the rest of the fucking the movie. So I was like, yeah, she can walk in those. She's still tall as shit though. Cute, but I liked seeing emotion out of her when her character was actually missing her father, missing her mother. There was genuine emotion there, and I liked that core in the movie. It didn't seem like it was some bullshit. Even the love interest angle played into it. They held it off for a while in the movie, but I thought it was legitimate. I took it as being legitimate. It wasn't just a forced together, now I'm into you kind of situation. And I know people can see that as being kind of trite, right? Oh, it's just the same old shit. Look, motherfucker, all these movies are the same old shit. Okay? This one at least got me into it a while that I cared. Okay. And sure enough, I'm watching this movie and seeing stuff happening to this character, having control, not having control, learning how to have control. And I felt more into that than I was the Flash movie, which was DC's big thing. The thing they put all their money behind. I was more interested in Jaime Reyes's journey through this movie, which was little, but what he was dealing with played differently because I think that actor Zolo is a little bit better emotional actor than fucking Ezra Miller because I at least believe when he was in pain, I believed it. Ezra Miller gave me some shit, but all this goofiness on the outside of Ezra Miller just made it. It's just Ezra Miller, being him. Wasn't the character going through any personal pain. It was just Ezra Miller supposed to be acting at the moment. So I didn't leave this movie with the feeling that I hated it. I can't stand that they did this and none of that. It was none of that in there. Not for me. There were very few knocks that I had on the movie my negative little points that I will write down while I'm watching the movie because there was very few things that actually took me out of the movie. I was into it. I was enjoying it. I was laughing at parts, excited in some areas. It was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. In other points. Now, I think the main gripe on this movie will be the fact that it is family centered. And a lot of these movies this last few years that have been family centered, no agenda centered, no feminism centered, but family centered, have got shit on hard. Every one of them. And that just goes to show you what is going on in this culture right now. This culture hates families right now, hates intact heterosexual families. They also, from whatever they try to tell you, don't like minorities since we don't make up enough of the buying public or enough of the, opinion makers of this shit. What I saw in this movie was a legit family. A father wasn't super rich. He wasn't super smart, none of that shit. He was a regular fucking dude working and busting his ass for his family. He had him a big tetad Latina woman who was with him and had been with him for a while and loyal to him. He had his mama there. He had his daughter. He had his son. He had his brother. And they all worked and worked together and stuck together by his commandments, by his urge and by his dictates. They stuck together. And regardless of the hardships they went through, like fucking Sam Wilson being an Avenger and everything else and can't even get a loan for his fucking house to save his family shit. This family was losing their shit. All of it. The business they had, the house they had. All of that was going to be gone. But there was a good message in there that the father was telling his son is that this is part of the journey. These are just things. They come and they go. The journey is not the thing. Uncle Ben's Rice's nephew. Okay. That's a hell of a name. You got a troll name. So I'm watching you. But his father gave his son a good message. And that's a message I can get behind. I mean, I don't have a problem with that message at all. That it's more important that the family stick together and we'll figure out a way to get through this shit. That's a father's message to his family. And that's what the man gave. I can respect that. I can respect that message. I can't necessarily respect the message, and I'm relating this to the Flash so much because that was the last movie to come out from DC, the one that they actually put a lot of money behind. Okay, it never set well for me. Although the Flashpoint was a good story, it never set well for me that Barry Allen threw the whole fucking universe on his fucking head because he can't deal with the fact he lost his mama. He just want mommy back. What kind of bitch are you for real? And that's what I came up with the idea after the Flashpoint thing that Barry Allen was the biggest kid of all of them because he fucked off the whole universe just because he wanted his mommy back. Like, what? So you're just a baby. You can't deal with real life. So in this movie, Jaime goes through that. It's really brief because it's a 2 hour movie and it's his first movie. So they got to get all of this stuff in under the wire because they don't know if they're going to get a second one. But I thought they did a good job of establishing a relationship with the son and the father to where you felt for Jaime, you felt for the family, and actually respected the way the family pulled together and got it up. Now, is it believable that the four of these novice people could actually go and rescue their family member? Maybe not, but it's a fucking movie. It's not believable that Scarlett Johansson's little ass can kick anybody's ass. It's not. But we love the Black Widow, don't we? And like her wearing her tight leather, as objectified as she claimed she was. She made a whole movie of being a cute piece of tits and ass, and now she want to complain about it because she got over. Whatever. So I enjoyed the movie. I did. I actually enjoyed the movie. Would I rush out to watch it again? No, I don't need to rush out to watch it again. I watched it this time. If they put another one out there a year from now, I'd watch that one too because I'd want to keep seeing more of this. I would want to support that kind of message of families staying together and actually working with each other, actually going against anybody they had to bring one of their own back. I respect that kind of shit. I really do. It's one of the things I think is missing so much from the black family because there's so many hooks in us to have us going at each other. Mother and father can't get along together. You can't have the father and the kids getting along together. The kids can't get along with the parents. None of this shit. All of it is dysfunction. It's like they make a movie, you got a black intact family, it has to be a mirror world or some shit. They don't want you to see that kind of stuff. But here it is, we had this movie. It's a whole Latino family, and ain't nobody waving a rainbow banner anywhere. Oh my fucking God. Oh, oh, oh. So I'm not surprised that the movie's getting shit on. If it is. I don't really know if it's getting shit on or not, because I haven't watched anybody's review of it. This is, cold calling on this. Yeah, what's up, Dr. T? I had forgot. I didn't forget it was coming out, but I wasn't paying that much attention because I was disconnected from shit. But it was good that I went to see it so I could remember this Gran Turismo and some other shit that's coming out that I want to see. Because from seeing this movie, I saw that I think they pushed the date up of Dune Part Two. So now it's on November 3rd, and I'm like, fuck. That means I still got Marvels to fucking see near my birthday. God damn it. But other than that, I saw it. I kind of liked it. It was a good, relaxing movie. I watched it. I enjoyed some of the stuff I saw. Some of it was like, okay, that's kind of irritating, but it's a family. And I like that. I really do. I really do like that shit. Now, the part that I've heard somebody mention was about the grandmother, that the grandma was the only one that had nuts. No, she wasn't the only one who had nuts. She was the only one who actually been into some shit before. Because one of the things that I've told people why I like dealing with older people and not young motherfuckers who just talk with a lot of bluster about shit that they ain't never done is that when you start talking to older people about what it is that they've done in life, you'll find out some shit. because a lot of that stuff they don't even talk about. They don't even mention. What up, Abuki? They don't even do it. So finding out during this movie that grandma know how to hold a fucking gun and ain't worried about getting it in to bring back her grandson, you can say it sounds ridiculous and unbelievable, but I don't know. You ever been a Latino revolutionary? Have you? Do you know what it means if a older woman pulls down her hair, she got her two braids, rocking her two braids, and she ready to go? Do you understand what that means? I tell you in street sense, it mean that bitch done seen some action, and she ain't afraid to get it in, nigga. She probably got some kills under her belt. Fuck around and find out. She being calm and doing her sewing and shit like that, and keeping it stoic because she keeping the rap on all that shit. It's like Christopher Lee. If you hadn't heard about Christopher Lee telling them stories, you wouldn't know what kind of motherfucker he was in war and shit like that. You wouldn't even know because he don't talk about it. People who've actually been through shit usually don't talk about it like that. It's something you got to bring out of them with some alcohol. Then they'll share some stories. And you'll hear some shit that'll change the way you look at that motherfucker. So I didn't have a problem with that. I thought that part was actually kind of fucking cool because she was the one that pulled everybody back together. And that was good because they needed somebody to do that. But having it be her showed where it came from in the father because you didn't see her overstepping her son. That's what you didn't see. She stayed in the house with her son and his family, his wife. You didn't see her overstepping him. But when he was out the picture, you saw her step up like, hey, we're going to cry later. Let's get this shit done. Who going to get Jaime? We need to go grab him. That's what we need to do. And then you find out a lot about Nana, which is what I call my grandmother, Nana. You find out some shit about Nana. Nana ain't get it in. Because you ain't got to be that goddamn strong to pull a trigger. You just got to be able to hold it steady. So you can think it sounds ridiculous, but it's about as ridiculous as some of the other shit I've seen as fucking Zoe Saldana holding up a big ass Gatling gun on her shoulder and shooting it off by twisting two fucking wires together and fighting another small wafy ass chick. About as believable. But this one in the Blue Beetle movie actually has some real world context. What up, Aaron Peterson? The sister, Uncle Ben, the sister was annoying in the beginning, but she's annoying in the sense that she was coming in over the top as that angsty fucking Zennial or Alpha, whatever generation these little motherfuckers is in right now. It would be more irritating if I didn't know people like that with their younger sisters. Annoying as fuck. But that's the stereotypical young sister in movies nowadays. Riddle me this. How different was I'm gonna forget her name because I almost said Michelada. That wasn't her fucking name. Michelina. How different was her personality from Shuri in the original Black Panther movie? How different was it? That's the feminine millennial snark, nigga. That's what it is. That's what they know of that generation of kids. That's how they act. That's how the girls act. And if you worked around any 20-year-olds, you can see that's actually fucking true. It's pretty fucking accurate. Annoying. Know everything, got nothing together. But they know everything. So I don't see that as being that bad. Yes, in the beginning she was annoying, but you know what made her less annoying throughout the rest of the movie, Uncle Ben? See if you can guess this one. Because you saw the movie. You can probably see the same thing I did. What made her less annoying throughout the rest of the movie? She talked fucking less. That's what made her less annoying. She talked less. She had less lines. They got from focusing on her and Jaime's interaction as brother and sister and shifted to focusing on Jaime and Jenny Core's interactions with each other and George Lopez. She was out of the shit for a bit. So it improved the movie by making her shut up more. Because that snarky millennial shit is, well, I shouldn't even say millennial because she's not old enough to be a millennial. A Z? Yeah, she's a Z generation. That snarky Z shit is what sells to get people to watching the commercials and showing up to the movie theater. That's why it has to be in the beginning, and then that shit phases the fuck out the rest of the movie so we can get on with the grown folk shit. Because that snarkiness is just the cool shit that get young kids in the theater. It's not the shit that drive us there. That part in the trailer about, excuse me, Mr. Reyes, are you gonna help get the gun from under here? Yeah, it sounded funny, but that wasn't a draw for me to go see the movie. Not for me, but for somebody younger, they probably want to see that shit. Some snarky ass girl knocking this dude down off of his delusions of grandeur while she's doing the same shit he doing, but she's superior to him. Okay, cool. Call it what the fuck you want to. So yeah, she got better as the film went along, but she got better because she talked less. She had less lines. It was less focus on her and more focus on Jaime and what's going on in this situation and introducing the backstory for the Blue Beetle and Ted Cord and stuff, and not so much on let's get the plucky sister in here to give us some jazzy one-liners for the young audience. That wasn't what it was. Fight scenes were legitimate. I mean, it's no raid. I mean, it's not the fucking raid, but Zolo was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. It was some interesting fight scenes and some movements he was pulling off. Now, I don't know if somewhere in there they had a stunt double for him doing some of the fights, but I was busy making the thumbnail when the credits were rolling, so I can't say for sure or not. But hopefully he did more of his own stunts and stuff. Because at least in that sense, I liked it better than the Flash because there was a practical suit. And the suit looked pretty legit. It was practical, it was real, you could see it, you could tell it was real. And the special effects came in for the powers and not the fucking suit, which is always to me the dumbest goddamn move ever. Unless this motherfucker is floating around like Dr. Manhattan and he's gonna be blue the whole time, I don't need the superhero character with a CG suit the whole fucking time. You're wasting money on CG. Wasting. Give me a goddamn practical suit and move on with the story. So I like that. They did a good job of introducing how his shit works, how his powers work, what his limits are. They did a good job of that. I don't think they did a good job of figuring out how they took this power from him, but they did do a good job. And you got to know really quick in an Iron Man kind of way that this suit is super durable, it's super fast, it can fly very high with no problems, and it could create whatever he needed if he could think about it, like a goddamn Green Lantern. Yeah, I know Zola did a lot of his fighting in Cobra Kai. That's why I know who he is from being Miguel in Cobra Kai, and he does a lot of his own stunts in Cobra Kai because it's no they got a mask on so you can swap somebody out. They got to be in there doing the shit. So I'm just interested if he did a lot of it in this movie as well because he had on a mask some of the time. That's it. Other than that, I'm sure he could have did it because the suit is practical. So you don't have to dial down your fight scenes and make them, ultra unrealistic because you're CGing it all anyway. You can have these close quarters fights and shit like that, underground in tunnels and shit, and have a good fight scene because you're not worried about CG and everything. What up, King and Trail? Yeah, I think the fighting was good in Blue Beetle. I mean, there was one scene where he get his suit back, he get his mojo back, and he go out there and he got to fight some dudes in the hallway, and it looked damn near pretty brutal. The only thing I say about it is the shaky cam shit. Camera was shaking a little bit too much and it was too close. But they were doing that for effect to give impact, right? I get it. But it may just be because I saw it on IMAX and I was sitting relatively close on IMAX. What they got all these tow trucks out here for? Let me get the fuck from out here. These fucking police dudes. Don't try to be fucking with all these fucking dumb shit on a Sunday. Fuck off. So I thought that part was good. He got in there and he started scrapping, and this is the main scene. I'm wondering, was it really him? Or was it a stunt double for him? Because some of those movements was pretty good. It was really good. I was like, shit, awesome. That looked cool. But I like the fact that this was a character, although this character is wearing an armored suit, he's actually getting in there and kicking people's ass with his bare hands. He's not just using energy weapons, which I like Iron Man. Okay, I do. I'm Stark Tony. Okay. One of the drawbacks for Iron Man for me is that if you take his repulsors away from him, he's not nimble enough in a fight. That's why Civil War was such a good scene to see Captain America and Bucky just beating on his ass. The repulsors ain't working, nigga. What you got? Bang, bang, bang. Ping, ping, ping. All they was doing was throwing hands at his metal fucking head and beating his ass because that's the limitations of the armor. Yeah, you protected, but every weak motherfucker want to be protected like that. But when you can actually get hurt, then we go get a real fight out of your ass. But now we're gonna see what you're made of. This is why I like Superman, but I'll rock with Batman because Batman out there knowing he can be hurt. Superman is out there knowing he can never be hurt. And when he is, he's fucking shocked. Oh my God. Yeah. Now it's time to get your ass whooped. But Batman do it knowing he can be hurt. Knowing what it feels like to bandage his own ribs up and shit like that. But he still be out there doing it. Same thing with Peter Parker. That's why I like them more than just Superman, because I don't believe I'm invincible. I don't. Yeah, the banter between the AI in a suit and a guy is always more fun if the person is a little bit younger. Because the younger person don't know what the hell is going on, but the suit does. So the suit has to accommodate this younger, unexperienced mind, even though it has all the knowledge. inexperienced as well because it doesn't know this user. Now, Dr. T, if you've never seen it, I would tell you to look on Amazon Prime or Netflix and look for the Max Steel movie because it's pretty much the same type of thing, right? Made from a cartoon, Max Steel cartoon. They made a live action movie of it. It looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. It looks like they took the suit, not the suit design, but the way that the suit in that movie was done was practical. It was a practical suit. But he was talking to an AI as well, and the AI could do pretty much the same thing. It will create what he needed, but it had to actually teach him how to use it successfully, so he didn't get himself fucking killed because he could do a lot. But you I just week got to stop. No, no Mary Sue is. I appreciated them giving respect to Ted Cord in it and actually mentioning him and showing. I thought it was cool. A lot of some of it was reminiscent of seeing Watchmen because the Blue Beetle ship looks like Archie, the Owlman had. Like, but that's kind of how they did Watchmen. That's kind of what they did with Watchmen. They kind of pulled characters from DC and did their knockoff versions of the shit. It is what it is, right? But I did like that. It gave it some sense of legacy and some sense of there is a person out there possibly who knows more about this stuff and can help him. It gave him a mentor. That's all it did. It gave him a mentor. Somebody out there that knows a little bit more about this and can help you if he was ever found. I like that. It's the same reason I like a Miles and Peter Parker being in the same universe together. So Miles can have a mentor, somebody who's been doing this longer and can teach him some shit. He doesn't have to make the same mistakes all over again. So it was fun. The banter with the suit and Jaime in this one was all right. It was a lot more of him just questioning and not knowing what the suit is doing sometimes, and him asking the suit and crying out to the suit for it to do stuff for him. But I think this is why Blue Beetle and Booster Gold work so good together because Blue Beetle has his AI and Booster Gold has what is it, Skeets or whatever his name is, has his ass. So it's always somebody in their ear. They fucking Jimmy Cricket trying to keep these motherfuckers on kind of the straight and narrow, and sometimes they fuck it up. But that's no different than Jarvis or Friday in the Iron Man suit. It's the same type of banter. It's the straight man for you, pretty much. Built-in comic relief. That's fine. That's fine. What up, Beastly? Trail, a whole paragraph in this bitch I can't see right now. Okay, I gotta pull over and shit. What did Trail say? Batman trains. I don't understand superheroes who can't fight without their powers. I still love the X-Men when Storm led them and the Morlocks without their powers. Yeah, I look. Reason why I always have a love for the characters who can actually brawl and actually fight because they're not helpless without their powers. Even Storm can fight without her powers. Even Storm. and I get it in with you, nigga. Off the streets of Cairo, nigga. Take it back to Egyptian style on you. I like those characters, which is why Cyclops is always on the fence for me. Because as soon as you take his visor, the motherfucker can get his ass whooped, apparently. Right? Now they gave him in the comics, no, he can fight and stuff like that, and he's trained a little bit how to fight without the use of his sight and shit like that. It's like, oh, so he was training with Daredevil? Is that what you're trying to tell me? No, he wasn't. He get his ass kicked. Cat, if you don't get out the street, you're gonna lose a life. You're gonna lose one of the nine. I like characters who can actually capably fight afterwards without their powers. It's healthy. That's what I think Superman's biggest flaw is. That everything always went down when he hit it. And the times things didn't go down when he hit it, that's when he got his ass kicked. Everybody can't be Superman. With enough training, you could be Batman. You could be Daredevil. And that's what makes these characters more accessible to me than the super powerful, can't be hurt, nothing harms me, I feel no pain. Fuck you. Then what are you even fighting for then? You should be ending this shit off top. Why we gotta be out here fighting? Oh yeah, I can't see me. See my shirt, but you can't see me. It don't matter. It's a nice enough night. It's warm enough out here that I can have the sunroof open at night to drive. 82 degrees outside, and it's damn near 10:30 at night, and it's 82 degrees. It's California. But what up, Spain, man? You hated that they made Storm virtually useless in the movie? Well, because they wanted to focus on Jean Grey and Scott too much, and Wolverine. Putting Wolverine in the movies was it's the biggest selling point for the movies, but it was the worst thing comic wise and everything else because they tried to pivot the whole team off of Wolverine after that. And Wolverine is not the whole fucking X-Men team. He's not supposed to be the fucking leader. He's not supposed to be the front man. That is not Wolverine's job. That is Scott's job. I like my Wolverine coming and going. Just like I like my Batman. He got a seat at the Justice League table, but that nigga ain't never there. They got to call him and ask him for his help. And he might tell them, I'm busy. Gotham needs me. I got other shit to do. Y'all keep doing that superhero shit. But yeah, Storm is a good tactician. That's what is it, blue and gold team? I forget which one. Was she blue or was she gold? But that's second team leader right there. Storm, Aurora, Monroe. So I hated that they didn't give her that respect like that. But it was based on the time and based on the actress to me. But if they want to do an older movie, I would still take Angela Bassett as Storm. Still would. I'd take her as an older Storm, the goddess version of her. Yeah, Gold Team. Thank you. Gold Team and the Extreme Team and a couple other teams. She had always been a leader. So anyway, I enjoyed the movie. I did. If you went to see it, you could probably enjoy it. I could tell you this though, with all sincerity, it is better than the Flash movie. Less questions, less what the fuck, less this is just dumb. Less of that shit altogether. Less of it. And the movie wasn't bad for not having it in there. It wasn't. What up, brother? Truth be told, appreciate you coming through. So I liked it. I don't know if that's a recommendation for you to watch it or not, but if you want a good, decent watch where you can watch it and see something new, see some cool special effects, and just get into the movie, and then it's over and you out of there and done, you'll be entertained for 2 hours. It ain't gonna keep you forever. You'll be entertained for 2 hours. I will say one of my most entertaining thoughts in this shit was that the villain in this, when he got his little villain upgrade, that motherfucker showed up. It did look like an Iron Man movie, but at the same time, his costume looked like it was straight out of the black hole. Now, if y'all don't know, that's an old Disney movie, live action, The Black Hole, one of my favorite movies, right? And one of my favorite names in there was the big red robot in there was called Maximilian, right? And he would float around and he looked really menacing and shit. He didn't speak, he didn't beep, he didn't tweet, nothing. He just had a big red eye, right? Carapace, yeah, Carapax. But when he got his upgrade, he looked like straight Maximilian to me. And that's the first thing I thought of when I saw him say, Maximilian, is that you? Back from the black hole? Oh shit, he about to get fucked up. That was funny as hell to me. But I like that design. I do like that design. It's like, holy shit, it brought me back, man. It took me back to being a kid going to the movies to see that shit with my mother. If you guys watch that movie right now, you'd laugh at it like, damn, what were they watching in the 80s? What is this, a string? This looks silly. It was the 80s, motherfucker. Special effects had to evolve. But back in the day, I believe that shit. It was awesome. Maximilian was a cool ass robot. That's the whole reason I named my black cat Maximilian. I like that name. I love that name. So that's why I remember it. So that was the only thing. That looked kind of cool to me. Like, damn, that's Maximilian upgraded. But otherwise, that's it. What up, Rainfire? Dr. T said that movie scared the hell out of me as a kid. Dude, it did because it got to the end. What happened with Maximilian and what's his name? They end up merged together or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Why is it what's going on, Mama? I don't know what happened to him. What happened? Like, holy shit! Like that was a mind twist for that ending for that one. Black Hole, The Black Hole by Disney. It's a live action movie. Look that shit up. I like Battlestar Galactica too because I like the Viper fighters and I like the name Starbuck. But the movie I'm talking about with Maximilian, the red robot, was The Black Hole, live action. You even had fucking uh, not Anthony Hopkins, Anthony Perkins, psycho dude in that shit. Got his ass spin dry. Got his ass spin dry. Maximilian fucked him up, boy. Maximilian wasn't playing that shit. He didn't like that motherfucker anyway. He gave that boy the spin dry. Dr. T know what I'm talking about. He put up that book trying to stop that robot. Oh God, his ass flung all over that control room, dude. Oh shit. Anyway, let me get out of here, y'all. It's been a long day. I've been up since 7 o'clock. I got work in the morning again, and then I'm on call this weekend. So I need to muster my strength, trying to get back into working out. So I got some shit I need to do in the morning. So I'm gonna get this rest and try to get back at this shit tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming through. Um, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And this has been my reaction to the Blue Beetle. It was better than the Flash for me. So that's it. I will see you guys next time. Peace.